wasn't for your wellies, where would you be? This country would grind to a halt and no a thing would grow if it wasn't for the workers in their wellies. Wellies, they're wonderful, oh wellies, they're swell. If it wasn't for
Welcome back to our dairy farm channel. We get fertiliser spread, we do some milk recording, the heifers go walkabout, we get some fencing done. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe.
Saturday morning, the 26th of April, a lot wetter night than was forecast. Cows waiting patiently. Head cow there to start. In they come. They got their buffer feed and I asked them to clean out one half of this field, caramels we call it. Just tidy up the job on it, so we'll drive up across it now and see how they got on. But I'd say they were happy out the fact that they're not roaring and give it out to me. Oh, hang on. I spoke too soon. A bit of a rumble in the jungle going on over there. Some hierarchy issues been sorted out. Bit of bulling activity here in front. Countdown is on to breeding now, the 3rd of May. Fingers crossed. Come on, girls. Come on. Graze out has been pretty good. If I slow down a bit there, you can see we have a significant dock population in this paddock. So with the drier weather forecast next week, we'll get some spray ordered and get Martin in to spray them. Because there's also ragwort and there's thistle, there's some chickweed. So this is the first field of multi-species that we put in. It's over 4 years ago now, I think 5 years ago. Yeah, the multi-species swede, the chicory, the plantain have all died out. There is clover, but it's been the value of the clover has been totally outpassed by the amount of weeds that are on site or in the sward. So spray the weeds and oversow a clover. Saturday morning, Honey and the maiden heifers and the wagoos getting their bit of grub. You see the grass is well grazed out with this section of the field now. If I get a chance this afternoon, I'll move them on just to stay dry, so I think they might work a little bit hard and clip off a few of them docks maybe today, and then we'll let them on to the next section tomorrow. Happy to get their meal.
That was a hell no, we will not from Honey and the heifers. Just wait until 5 PM later on in the video to find out what happens.
So big square bale dropped in here for bedding the calves, and of course the best thing about the big square bales is that they're held together with baler twine, farmer's best friend. Ellen will be pulling her hair out now. There's going to be baler twine used to tie gates, etc, etc. I'm absolutely delighted. Look at that, super strong stuff. Fresh sheets in the calf shed. First time using the big square bales. If I turn around here and go down in close, you'll see that there's a significant colour difference in what we have been using up until now. That's because this is sweetened straw. The round bales that we were using were barley straw, which I have a slight allergic reaction to. Barley dust, mine calf. So I'd be sneezing a little bit for the rest of the evening after rolling out and bedding the calves with the other straw. Hopefully this sweetened stuff won't have as much of a reaction. It's a different colour, it's a little bit coarser, so we're hoping feeding through the round feeders, that's going to increase rumen stimulation and rumen development on the calves. They won't have to eat as much of it to be full, so they won't be going through it as quick. Soakage on wheat and straw wouldn't be as good as barley, so we might have to bed a little bit more often, we'll see. Big square bales, because I can't get it, roll it in from there, from where we dropped it over the barrier all the way into this side. A little bit more labour intensive, hence I'm sweating and look like I'm about to collapse. Currently be ate by calves. But anyway, not worried about that. Good exercise. I can't get to the football field to train with the lads for my team, so this is my exercise for championship. Calves, clean sheets, happy days. Oscar's in there. You can see him in there. Where's my finger gone? In there in the feeder, cleaning the automatic feeder. and we have a birthday party to go to this afternoon. So we're going to get our jobs finished up. I'm going to get the mixed med now, the buffer feed and the straw, and we'll drive it on. Obviously with all the cows calved, the far side of the shed is empty now. So early next week, possibly Tuesday, we're going to get that pen cleaned out, and then we will be dropping gates here, dropping gates there, and the calves are going to have the full access right across around the shed and significantly increase lion space and the need for straw stop calves. So that's the plan. Thought we might get it done today, but like I said, we've birthday party to go to, so we're going to get that done first. Calves are fresh sheets for the weekend now and they're 100%. But that increase in line space will be fantastic. We'll leave the very last eye, we'll section that off. So according as the first dairy heifers are weaned, they go into the shed, into that pen beside. They still have access, ad lib access to straw and meal, but they won't be able to come around to the feeder. And then we'll weigh them and we'll get them out the grass. It's fast approaching. Since we started our YouTube channel, said to Ellen that we have to show warts and all and don't spare anybody or try and hide anything. So I'm just going to show you a video of a calf now that she's the funniest looking thing, and I'll explain to you why she looks the way she looks. Little lady dairy shorthorn cross heifer. It was a twin to her twin sisters up there in the corner, that black one waving her tail. Yeah, oh, that's a bull, sorry, her twin brother. Anyway, this calf had a bad dose of scour. We had to isolate her out into the isolation box because she wasn't strong enough to go down onto the feeder and be feeding regularly. So I had her there for a couple of days and she made a fantastic recovery due to the probiotics. But sometimes when calves get a dirty bum, they will lose the hair around their bum. We might have it in one or two of the other older calves. Oh, you see that red light there? See, he's just, the scour just burns their backside a little bit. When we keep a close eye on him, keep him freshly bedded, he might need a spray of aluminium spray or something, little angry looking. Anyway, this lady must have got scour everywhere, so she has no hair on her legs there, and as you can see, she looks a bit like a gorilla with no hair on her forehead. She is back on the feeder this last week or 10 days, feeding like an absolute champion and putting on weight, and her hair will grow back. So we have nicknamed her Baldy. If she lifted her head a little bit and not be so curious about that, she kind of looks like some of the main characters in Planet of the Apes. She has that look about her. But yeah, she'll be 100%.
Right, so 5 o'clock Saturday, I'm at home getting dolled up for a night out, and Joe rings to say he got a phone call to say there's cows out on the road. So me and Sive rallied down like crazy things, and just as we got there, the heifers were making their way up from the river out onto the verge. Well, I sent Sive down to get in front of them to chase them back to me. I ran up to open the gate. Joe's uncle Paddy just pulled up there with his brother Owen, and with the help of that guy there on the right, he helped me, and then another a neighbour was down the other end helping Sive, and then a red car stopped, and that young chap there, fair play to him, got out and helped Sive. So whoever you are, even message me, I'll send you an O'Neill Dairy Farm hat. Anyway, we got them back in. Well, Joe's plan of making Honey and the heifers work hard and clip some of those stocks before he moved them the next day did not go to plan, obviously. That's where they got out. That fence is bashed down, and they walked up the river and got out right there.
Sunday morning update on the cow with the abscess on her udder. So it has burst itself. See a bit of going out from the side there. That's her fairly well drained. We'll keep an eye on it and make sure that it doesn't get infected. No smell. Sunday evening. Cows milked and out behind the houses even. Grasses after exploding in the last couple of days. Our average farm cover was decent, and our cover per cow was decent on the last measure that Fionn done, and we're waiting on the replacement part for the plate meter to come. Hopefully it'll be here Tuesday. But going getting the cows earlier on and driving down across some of the paddocks, I just had a quick scan to see what was ahead of the cows. We have a lot of grass after growing in the last couple of days, so buffer feed is out. Meal is staying at 5 kilos, probably for a day or two. We'll just see how it goes. Lots of fuel in the ground and fertilizer that we spread previously. There's sunshine, there's moisture, there's heat obviously in the ground, so grass is exploding. So cows, that's probably a 24-hour allocation. I'm not 100% sure what they're going to intake. We'll see what it's like in the morning. Move it on a little bit if we have to. Yeah, grass has exploded.
We're just after collecting Fionn from his last milking in the neighbours, and there's 2 lambs that we're going to try to get them in. Go on, go back in. That's the hole you went in. Nice. There was a stream in that verge there, so Fionn had his wellies on. He was able to hop in. He got 1 lamb in, and the other one just kept chasing up and down. It would not go in. Anyway, we gave up after 5 minutes. While we were rescuing lambs off the road, Joe was here trying to move the heifers onto another paddock and desperately needing our help. One heifer won't move, so Fionn in his Wellingtons is gone legging it down to help him. Now I'm following Emmy runners. Much slower down this very steep bank. This is the bank where we spotted the deer last autumn, the end of the grazing season. I'm still making my way, following the cow track that they made. I found you. I couldn't see it. Did you get sorted?
Yeah. Oh no, not too close.
GA football chat. They were both milking separately, obviously on different farms. Listen to the Dublin versus Meath Leinster semi-final. Meath won. First time Dublin's lost since 2010, is it? I think they said. My parents are from Meath, so all the fan bands delighted. You know that you try to breed your stock to outperform the parents, that each generation is getting bigger, better and stronger. I think it worked for us.
No, you might look out, Brett.
I'm not about my young fit. Other random things over the weekend. Joe got a phone call from a lad who watches the YouTube channel from Dublin, and I think he said he's doing the green cert. He needed some help working out figures for an assignment, so Joe dutifully helped him out.
Cows full of ticks of grass, they're slow coming in.
We're in our local hardware store. We just sat in a local cafe and had breakfast and emailed off a load of invoices for our first drawdown of our loan. And then we are in the ag store getting a few bits. All the parents out there that have gotten rid of their kids now back to school after 2 weeks, having them at home. I feel so free. I'm so happy to be back out on the farm with Joe and back to a bit of normal routine. Happy days. Did you say to me they sell Tipex here? Maybe we should buy a few, just test it out. I want to see what you think. Just picking up the lamb lack for the lammy lambs. Is that all we're getting here, lamb lack?
And like the nuts for the cows, they only have 5 of them there, so I'm going to get some Yahoo to get some more.
And did you find out what time the nuts are being blown in?
Hoping tomorrow morning. We just
So this is just to get you over until then?
Yeah. And out there and wave that around.
What do you want me to do? Reverse back down. So our nuts that we're getting blown into the tower aren't coming till tomorrow, so that's a 1 day supply of nuts for the cows.
It's not even enough for 1 day.
What? How much is it for?
It's maybe half of the seed.
Just as we were leaving, we met the sheep farmer that we bought the original lambs off.
Lamb was doing.
It was tough. No,
Yeah, it was tough. It was
you
tough.
wouldn't want too many like it. That's
No.
all
But sure, look, at this time of the year, when they come, they go just as quick, so they're away, like, you know, they're away.
You are getting ready for.
Do a meter reading before the bills go out of control like they did when we had stopped doing meter readings last year. Driving out the lane to go herd the heifers, and Joe said to come back that the battery on the tractor was dead, so he wants me to come back so we can do an owl jump start. The van wasn't strong enough, so Joe brought over the loader that's back in action to jumpstart the tractor, and I headed off. I'm gonna hop over this gate and go and herd the heifers down in the bottom of the beyond over there. There's 30 heifers wailing the Wagyu, honey our beef cow, Oscar's cow. So I'm just making my way up this bank because there's a stream down that end that I can't cross. Horseflies, my arch enemy every summer. "11 minutes after I entered the field, heifers, or maybe more like honey, she knows my voice has heard me. Oh god, I hate when they come galloping like that. They think I'm bringing a meal, I am bringing you nothing. Look at honey, she's the herd leader. Now you can slow down. There's the 2 Wagyus in the front. This year's and next year's freezer and honey. Heavily pregnant. Hello, now you stay back, little Wagyu. You mad joke. How is everybody? I count you when I'm back in the car watching the video. Oh honey, da 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 da, oh sugar, sugar. She knows that song. She's looking for Joe, but she's going, where is the bag of meal the farmer usually brings? Hello, Willy Wagyu and Wailing Wagyu. Don't start humping now around me. I don't like when you do that. Honey is in calf to Belgian Blue this time. It'll be the first time she's been in calf to Belgian Blue. It'll be her 4th calf. Yeah, she's 5 years old and she's had 3 calves. And here is when I will insert the music, Follow the Leader.
Follow the leader, 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 follow the leader. Follow the leader, 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 follow.
Kevin in getting the fertiliser out on the silage ground a little bit later than last year, but that's just a reflection on grass growth. Gone with 3 bags of the acre of Selene cut on 55 acres on our grazing platform. So we're back to being heavily stocked now, hoping grass growth continues.
Aggressive genetics are here, setting up for our first milk recording of the year. Last year I'm pretty sure we did 5 milk recordings, so today's the first one this evening. So I'm there getting stuck in helping the girl from Progressive Genetics set up the milk meters in the parlour, and I get a phone call from the Tesco delivery guy. He was in our garden, so I had to leg it out to the car and get home quick. There goes Tesco. Oh my god. Anyway, I won't be doing this again when the kids aren't here to help me unload it all. Almost time to head in for evening milking and milk recording. A lot of ducks in that field. It's 10 to 4 on Monday. We're at milk recording. We have to be out of here by 6 o'clock. We've got two football matches and 1 football training on. So we have to get going. We had a new girl setting up the machines today working for Progressive Genetics, so it's laid out differently than we're used to, but we'll figure it out. So we figured out the best way is for me to milk the cows. Joe does milk recording, I used to do milk recording, and he used to milk the cows. We swapped now. I wear my headphones and listen to a book and ignore him yelling at machines that aren't working for him. Okay.
Looking like a boss. Okay, so milk recording involves we have this milk meter that's supplied by our milk recording company, Progressive Genetics. It's hooked into the pipeline, so the unit goes on the cow. The milk is fed up through the milk meter, it records our volume, and if you look around to the back, Ellen, it takes a sample in this unit here. So each individual cow then gets a barcoded milk sampling bottle. That's from the previous cow. It's hooked on there. And then we go around to the front again. I type in the cow's number into the handheld machine and sync it to the milk meter, and then the cow's jumbo tag is synced to the barcode on that button. So it goes back to the lab. It's tested for butterfat protein and somatic cell count, and then get the correlation of the milk yield that she's given all of that is recorded. We'll do 3 more milk recordings in the year, and then at the end of the year there's a formula that it's all worked out how much that cow is given in terms of milk solids, what about protein, and then what our average somatic cell count for the year is. When we get our report back now, it's generally about 10 days, we'll see our high yielding cows, who want a real good fat and protein, and then obviously we will address any high cell count cows. But because our bulk milk tank cell count is really, really good, I'm not expecting any millionaires or ladies to be worried about.
And I presume also affects what cows we breed replacements from.
Yeah, so based on last year's information, anything that's a second calf or up, we have all their information from last year, what they produced over their lactation. Obviously the first calvers, we've no information on them. So if I'm going to use a dairy sex semen heifer or dairy sex semen straw on them, which I will, because some of them are milking really, really well, we'll get a little printout in the morning and it gives the yield. And we're starting AI on Friday. Obviously we won't have the results back, but whether I like them and whether their yield has been good enough, some of them will get sex straws, others won't.
And this information will also be fed back to pasture base, where copper, grass readings, and it's all kept together so we can build a plan on the farm. Anyway, what time is it now, Joe? Or you don't have time? We start at 4 o'clock, it's 5:15 now, so we're on the last row. So, yeah, it's quick enough, isn't it?
Yeah, you think you're done, you're not done yet.
I feel like I'm done. I'm like, God, it's grand. As in, my job is done, all the cups are on. It was flipping and roasting when all the cows came in. So milk and top came off. I couldn't find me dry cuffs, so I'm covered. Well, I'll start rinsing out the parlour, right?
If wait till you get...
I mean, this way.
Yeah, I know, but don't go quick.
I know. So after milking, obviously, cows, the minute they stand, they poop. So that's their poop from milking. And we'll spray all that down out to the tank outside. Oscar sprayed the walls of the parlour and of the pit to keep the moss filled up away. You can already see it gotten rid of anything that was left over from power washing. The plan is to do that every 2 or 3 weeks. We need to clean off these mirrors, give them an old dusting before breeding starts, which is very soon. We did a video but we didn't press record. All we said was it was the best milk recording yet. We didn't fight, probably because I had an audiobook on. For anyone new to the channel, we're building a slatted cow shed and a calf shed at the moment. Joe had a meeting on farm at 11 o'clock with Ronan Kelly Farm Services, who we are buying the internal fixings for the sheds off, just going through what we want and organising, getting prices for fitting if we're going to go for that.
So the maiden heifers and the Wagos and Honey and all get out here the other night.
I forgot to tell Joe that Honey actually was a good cow and stayed in the field and didn't get out.
While I was milking, I checked the boundaries, power in the electric wire. This had 2 strands of thorny wire and a sheep wire. It's extremely steep drop down onto the bridge that goes over the road there, you can probably see. The heifers are bulling really strong. Wailing the Wago has been an absolute pain, just humping on everything. So, getting it sorted out today. We now have it all electrified. 2 strands of electric fence wire, greasewood stakes, and it's running all the way up there to where the power is coming along on the main road. So I have this fencing job just finished. We have greasewood stakes and a strand of electric fence wire running all down along by the river over on this side underneath the road here at Paddy's. The plan is obviously it needs a second strand of wire. The heifers are going underneath it, and if the calves are going to be here, they would have originally been on the out farm or normally on the out farm, but now that we're limited and grazing ground, they're going to be here, so we'll get the second strand of wire up. The other side of the road, at the other bit of the river, there's only temporary fencing. We've been doing a lot of research, Ellen has been doing a lot of research there the last couple of weeks about the Clip-X stakes, sending me videos, sending me pricing. We spoke to a few people that used them and say they would never go back to a timber stake. The greasewood stake is gone now, it's a thing of the past. just back to Tanalite stakes or a version of it, and they just don't last the same as the Creasewood. So bit the bullet today, and we have 50 clip-back stakes for the 2 strands of electric fence wire and 20 stakes for carrying the sheep wire and electric fence wire. Corner posts, post driver coming by the end of the week, and the plan is to get them up on the far side there at the river where the temporary fence is, do a permanent job there and see how it goes. It's extremely hard to get in down there with tractor or any with a post driver, so the other option is to use a Creasewood stake, which we have some hand pounder, don't fancy that. So I will be driving the clip-backs, but apparently it's a lot easier to drive them. So yeah, it's a significant investment. They are obviously more expensive, but the lifetime span on them is, it'll see me out, probably see Fionn out, so that's the hope. Yeah, if we get them by the weekend, which we should, I think Saturday's going to be a fencing day.